It is Carbondale time 3. Because in California universities, they sometimes have this strange term called, for example, Berkeley time, which means starts 10 minutes later than 3, for example. So we usually say, oh, this is Santa Clara time, this is Santa Cruz time. So now I call it Carbondale time. So Carbondale time is 3. Thank you for inviting me to give this digital humanity talks. I'm very happy to be back to SIU. It's great to see everybody here. So today I would like to share a very interesting digital humanity tool called Flourish. And related to this, there's a very similar tool called Data Wrapper. I don't know if you have heard of that. So these tools, they focus on presentation of data, like presentation, instead of data cleaning, data processing. But as humanities person, we like doing this in public humanities because these days we interact with the public. And these tools originally, I believe they were made for journalism, like those very cool data visualization you saw in newspapers, right? They were quick, they were easy, and you don't have to do coding, which is a very painful process to debug. So I really love these tools. And also when I taught a visual analysis course, after the whole course, I did a polling. Flourish is people's favorite. So that's why I would like to share this very cool tool here today. I learned of this tool because one data visualization tool I used were closed, were not maintained anymore. So before they were closing, they recommend this tool to me, and I tried that out. And oh wow, it's pretty cool. It can do cool data visualization without coding. What you need to do just to get your data set ready, and that's it. So today we will look at how this will work. And this is the website of Flourish. I think it is a British company, but most of the tools are open source. So they have plans. You can pay for that for some advanced features. But for our daily tasks, I believe a free plan is enough. And the good thing about this is they have blogs. So because this tool, this software tool is very popular, so they have very detailed tutorials. Anything you don't understand, you just Google that. For example, heat map, Flourish, then you will see a tutorial about how to make a heat map on Flourish. So this is another good thing that you can work alone on this tool without much help. Another good thing I love about this tool is I love sustainable scholarship. So I hope people can still do their research after they graduate without university resources. So this one is a good is a good option that you don't have to rely on university resources to do your research. So first, before I sign in, if I sign in, you won't be able to see this front page. So I just sign out to show you the examples of this tool. So they have good examples here to show you what you can do with their with this software tool. But I think that these examples are not as good as my students' final projects. So I would like to show you like a few final projects of my students in my visual analysis course. They were really beyond my expectation.
And these were students at Santa Cruz or Berkeley or
they are Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Berkeley has a digital humanities minor and certificate program. If you are Berkeley students, you get a digital humanities minor degree. If you are from outside of the university, you get a certificate. So And students are not only from humanities, actually, they are from different majors of the university. Um, and the surprise is the biggest group of the students in my class is from data science. So the second biggest group is from computer science. So it's interesting because I always presumed that as as data science students, they they do better data visualizations than me. But actually, they told me that um, they in their classes they learn mostly on how to process data instead of data visualization, like presenting data. So that's why they take this course. So this one,
So can I follow up on that
yeah,
briefly? So is that sort of the extra benefit of a liberal arts major, particularly a history major, since we're talking historians here, conceptualizing, asking the right questions at the outset of a research project rather than just crunching data. So we're asking how, or in some ways asking, what is the data we need to answer this kind of question?
yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of this, let me show you a great example. A student of mine is a digital humanities librarian of University of South Dakota. So I think she made a great digital humanities project, although she doesn't use this, like this tool called Flourish in her final project. So this is her final project. She used a story map to host everything she made. So this is the data. She was the director of this Civil War and Reconstruction Governors of Mississippi. It is a state archive of Mississippi. So she was I think she's still the director. So she got a lot of historical data from that archive. So this is what I think as a historian how we can show data. So first of all, this is the stories. Um, the, the primary sources, this I call that qualitative data. And then she used the data she collected from this archive to make this data visualization based on quantitative data using this tool called data wrapper. Another tool I taught in my class, we will have a brief overview of this tool today. It's similar with Flourish, but it has its own advantages. So she did this on years authors most frequently discussed African Americans when writing to Mississippi governors. Um, if you do this data visualization with Python, it's very complicated. But with data wrapper, you can what you can do just you need to think about how you can present your data set. There are so many different types of data visualization you can do, right? For example, I want to make it a pie chart, or I want to make it like a bar chart, etc. So what you need to do, I think with these tools, what you need to do is to think about how you can use your data. In what is your best form to present your data. And with these tools, you don't have to worry about technical means like coding. So, and this one is, I can tell she used Python to do this. This is another data visualization she does. As you see, these are the Mississippi counties most frequently writing to the governor about African Americans. The next thing, I really love this project. And this project is the combination of many tools. So that one is data wrapper, right? This one is story maps, which based on your stories on maps. For example, I click this and it will show what is about this location. if I continue to click other places, this is what you can read. So it's really nice. So again, this is contextualizing freedom's fragility in the post-war era. So a lot of, I think this is the most humanist project in my visualization course. It's called what? Visual analysis course. Students, their topics are more modern because they are from various majors. They have different interests. I asked them, they can work on a project they are very interested in using the tools we use. So some of them, this one is a humanities person, a history PhD too. This is another map she makes based on the data. So today we will, I will show you how to make such a map on data wrapper. So this is the end of her project. Another project that is very relevant to our flourish today is this project. It's about the climate change. So this student has a lot of data set from the government's website. So she made a visualization of China's carbon emissions. What she does is, this is from Flourish. You have this bar chart. It's called bar chart race to show this the change of carbon emissions around the world. If we continue to do that, this is a very simple line chart. The world versus China. And this one, this is the data wrapper. As you notice that both of my students, when they make maps, they use data wrapper because that is the strength of this tool. And this is also the weakness of Flourish. I will show you later today. That's why they use this tool called data wrapper. Data wrapper is also very popular among journalists because it's really easy, quick, and fancy. This is data wrapper. So this is the flourish, the chart she made based on the data from the government. So we usually see this data, these charts in news articles, right? But we don't know how they made that. A good thing about this Flourish tool is you know how they made that because they show you the data set they use, and you make the same data set in the same formats, and then you will be able to make the same data visualization. So these are all made by the Flourish. We will discuss today. So that's why let's come back to Flourish. First of all, let me sign in. So to sign in Flourish, you can either sign in with your own email, or I usually sign in with Google because it's really quick. So now we are at the we're on the dashboard of Flourish, and these are all my projects I have made. Some are published, some are not published. You see they have different formats, right? A very cool thing of Flourish is if I click the new visualization, and it shows me all the data visualization types I can make with Flourish. So there are so many. For example, line bar and bar charts with so many different types of different charts, and also projection map. So now it is, for example, election season. If you scroll down, they have this U.S. congressional district or diverging map that has different, like they call it diverging colors. If you continue to scroll down, there are so many types of data visualization. So it really depends on your interest, like which one you want to make. So this is the bar chart we saw. And if you open it, see if there is a preview of this bar chart. If you think bar recent chart. So if you like this, you decide to make a data visualization like this. You click this tab called data, and it tells you how they make this bar chart race. So as long as you make a data set that follows the same format like this, and then you will be able to make bar chart race like this. So it's really easy.
So I've seen this with the top 50 cities in the United States from 1790 to now. Or, British, I've seen this with British cities, world cities. There are YouTube videos that do
yeah,
that.
you always see this on YouTube videos,
Yeah.
right? Like the top 50 cities in Britain in the past 100 years, for example.
Mhm.
So this is how they made it that.
Okay.
I will show you how to make this, but currently, so for the present, so this is the data set. So here you will see this label, values, categories, and image. So this basically to tell the tools that for example, on this, see here on the right side, there are country names, right? So here it is label called A, column A. I want label to be column A, which is the country name. So as long as you enter the right letter of that column, it will show correctly on your data visualization. So this is one example.
If you're in the bar chart race
Mhm.
and you're about to preview it, can you change the chart type and preview another type?
But they are all bar chart race.
No. Switch to another type that was on the dashboard.
Yeah, you can come back like what I do now. I come back to this dashboard. I will continue to browse other types of data visualization. So these are the tree maps, which is another popular type of data visualization. Sankey's. I'm not a big fan of Sankey, but I see a lot of companies use that to show their profits, the oranges of their profits. And if you are a fan of sports, here you can also make that. I think this is football, and is see you can make similar things like this to show the different places of different baseball players. Oh, actually, it is
Actually,
soccer.
and that's soccer.
So because this is a British tool, so they call soccer football.
Of course.
I just realized that. So about bar chart risk, I'd like to show you other things. Oh, I think that my student made about that opening data visualization was this. Besides this changing bars, you can see the line charts down here. There are like a bar chart.
So is your question as having more than one data visualization tool side by side? Is that what your question is more?
When you had the bar chart race open, on the right-hand side it said chart type. Can you just switch the chart type
Right.
and see what it would look like in a different format?
So it's a different way of
Or do you have to
visualizing.
get out and do it? Find
Do it in
another.
different, right.
Where?
I'm trying to understand your question, yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
Doesn't it say chart type on the right or no?
It's chart style.
Chart style.
Change
Chart style.
I don't know.
Because that's a different interpretation of the data.
Yeah,
Depending on what you're asking it to visualize.
because each type of data visualization is has different data sets, like formats of data set, like different columns. So that's why you can't preview other types here.
So this one is predefined visualization. So we cannot change the visualization.
You have some customization options. If you, for example, I decide to make a bar chart with like this, and then I can, for example, change the colors, change the data set, but overall it will look like this.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's like a pre-decided. You need to decide the type of data visualization you want to make. And then after you set on this, you are set on this type of data visualization. There is a dashboard where you can change many things on this type of data visualization.
if you are an advanced user, is it possible you can do it from the scratch?
Sorry, what?
If you're an advanced user, is it possible to switch it?
And
No.
If you're an expert
No,
at-
I don't think so. So with paint pen, you see here, this kind of highlighted area with a star sign. So here it means if you want to use this type of data visualization, you need to pay. But usually most of them are free. Like and also this CC like a line chart with looks good on elections. Then you can also with some like pictures as we saw in the preview. So a good thing about this flourish is it's not static. You can use that as static, of course, like a screenshot, for example, or you save it as an image, but you can also copy and paste the code in your website. And then on your website, it is as live as this. So
Is the code HTML5?
yes, HTML. They give you different types of code. You will see, I will show you later. They give you different types of codes. You can include that if you are a web developer, you can include that in your original code when you code the web page. Or there's another code called iframe, which means you just copy and paste on the website, you save it, and it is there.
It's embedded and it
Yeah.
links to this place where you saved it.
Yeah, so it will look like this. I believe my students just use that HTML code. It's called iframe. You just copy paste on the web page and save it, and it will be part of your website. Yeah. So you see this with this star sign. These are the data types you have to pay. Use like a paid plan, but for example, you see in New York Times articles, you always have this interesting quizzes, right? Like what type of person are you? Or they give you a quiz on the English words you use, and then it tells you how likely you are from what region,
It
right?
got me within 30 miles of the place I was born.
Yeah, so
The
like you
25,
very move.
25 regional slang words. Like, what do you call water fountain or a bubbler? What do you call a shoe?
A bubbler.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
Rhode Island would be a bubbler. Yeah.
So these are all charts of types of charts. For example, like a word cloud. So besides this quantitative data visualization, you can also use some qualitative. So for example, they have cars. It is movable, or it can run automatically. I think this one should be our history people's favorite. Like this. You show different history figures like this running a running carousel. But you barely see this on college websites because many people don't think it meets web accessibility standards. So some handicapped students, you need to make sure that they can get the information, and when they click that, for example, anywhere on a website, it can stop to give them some time to get the information. So many big institutions, they choose not to have this running carousel because it runs. It might create difficulty for handicapped people. But as history people, we like that, right? Uh, but I think if we don't want this carousel, for example, they have content on Flip, which is very nice. And this one, like the profiles, we can embed that on our web page, showing different people, for example, like this. So this flourish, it is really cool. It allows us just to do this cool data visualization without coding. So if you can do these things with Python, but it will be very difficult. The codes will be very long, and you might have some bugs and takes long time to debug it. So that's why this flourish are my students' favorite, even if they are from computer science or data science. So now I would like to show you how this works. So today I will use very like a simple data set because I think it is easier to show you how things work. But through this flourish, it can handle very complex data set, like data sets of maybe 500 or 1,000 rows. So today I will use a data set that is about how people file their complaints in Detroit in 2018. So it's a data set from Detroit government to show how people file their complaints. Either they call you or walk in or mail, etc. So first of all, like I said, I need to decide which type of data visualization I want to make. There are so many, but it's not every type of data visualization fits your data set. So if you have some questions or if you are undecided, you can ask ChatGPT. I tried that; it works. So just use your prompt with many details. For example, what I have in my data set, what columns I have. So what types of data visualization I can make. Usually, ChatGPT can give you very excellent answers that can give you some ideas. I also tried ChatGPT with cleaning the data. So for example, the original data set I downloaded from the government had 12 columns. I told ChatGPT that I only want column 1 through 5, and make that edit my data sheet and return another spreadsheet in CSV format. This one, ChatGPT did very well because it's easy, right? It's just to cut some columns off. However, I feel the current ChatGPT can handle complex tasks. For example, I want to make a map.
The subscription can.
What?
The monthly subscription models can, because I use a.
Yeah, I use that because now they limit how much data you can use. So yesterday I subscribed to the paid plan. For example, I downloaded a data set that has 200 names of country around the world. Their location, for example, they are Europe or North America, East Asia, West Europe, like this. And also their income, their high income or middle income, low income, and also their PM 2.5 air pollution index. But there are no coordinates of these countries. But I want to make a map, so I need information of coordinates. So I asked ChatGPT, add coordinates to my data spreadsheet and return another spreadsheet in CSV file. It took like a 1 minute or so for ChatGPT to work, but it didn't return a CSV file to me with coordinates. It only gave me like 5 countries coordinates. And I refined my prompt. I said,
That's what you have to do.
you only gave me 5 countries coordinates. I need all of these countries.
Please give me the next 5 countries.
I don't think the next one make much difference. So I believe the current ChatGPT can handle like complex data.
Well, you can train it, and sometimes you have to remind it of your rules sometimes. So like I'm doing something completely different, but like when I'm asking it to please correct for all capitalized common nouns in the text that I'm doing, sometimes it'll forget to do that, but then I say, please remember to do this, and then it remembers. So it's like
Yeah, you
it's like a
have
little
to
3-year-old. You
continue
gotta
to-
constantly remind it.
Yeah, you have to continue to refine it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even for those 5 countries coordinates, I'm not sure it gives me correct data on that. I have to double check with it. It's kind of
Mhm.
challenge, but it can do basic tasks. For example, I only want column 135. You give me a new spreadsheet, right? It works. And also yesterday I found there's something wrong with my data set. Like the total should be 100%, but for some lines of data, the total is 101 or 99. So I asked ChatGPT round them to 100. It did that very well. So it can do simple tasks.
Right.
And you have to keep an eye on it for some complex things like you add coordinates of 200 countries or 200 locations. It might not be able to handle that. So now I would like to show you how Flourish works. It works on all of this data set. So mine is just one example, but you would be able to see how things work so that you can make other types of data set. So like I said, I have a data set of how people file a complaint in Detroit in 2018. But I think I might want to make a line bar or bar chart. So a good thing about this is they are in the same category, which means, for example, I would say, for example, I want a column chart. And see, this is a column chart, and this is an example data. So if I want to make the same thing, I would click this data where I can upload my own data. But first of all, I would observe how Flourish make this data set, because this means if you want to make the same data, like a data visualization like this, you have to follow the same format of this data set. So it's pretty simple. So I would, first of all, I should have this country name, which is here, right? And also the numbers. And if you see here, for example, label time is A column. So it is country's name. So in the preview, it would be here. It is here, right? So in your future data visualization, you follow the same format. So if you want your categories to show up here with different names, for example, mine would be different types of complaints like telephone, walk-in, for example. I want them to show here. Then in my data set, it should be column A, like here. So this is a little abstract. So let me show you how it works. You will understand that. So first of all, I will clear sheet. And then here I would upload my own data. So for this to upload your data, you will see that there are three options you have. I usually have the first one because it is free. You can see the data set except is Excel, CSV, TSV, JSON, and GeoJSON. GeoJSON is usually the data you have for a map. JSON is a type of data that follows certain format. So most of us will use CSV. So this one is unavailable. I think it might be something new because you can merge the current sheet with uploaded file. And this one with a star sign, which means it's on paid plan. If you pay it, you see you can use live URL, which means your data can come from a web page instead of uploading as a CSV data spreadsheet. So now I just upload mine. So I'll say this one. I open it. So now you can you can check if your data set is uploaded correctly. So I think for me, it looks right to me, like my original data looks like this. So now here you will see.
And is the data being, is it Google Sheets you're using? What is it? What's the platform using?
I use
Excel?
Excel.
Okay.
You can use Google spreadsheet, but you have to download
No,
that.
it just looks to me like it looks like it's Google right here. That's why I'm just,
Yeah, but this is you upload that. This is upload. To upload data, you can choose
you choose what it does. Okay.
yeah. So here it tells you what data format it accepts, like Excel, CSV, JSON, GeoJSON. As long as your data set is in this format, they don't care what tool you use. So now I'm fine. I think my data is correct. So as you see here, it's very smart. It usually fills this blank area by itself. It makes its own judgment. I think, for example, you have stack chart. You might you might want to make this month column as your label, and then you want me to show the data from column B to column I. So, but if sometimes it makes wrong judgment, if, for example, your data set is complex. So, for example, I do that manually by myself. So you have a preview area down here. So now because I delete all the values, it doesn't show anything. So now I can choose labels. So labels are the column, it tells you what label means. And if you have questions, you can hover over this question mark and it will tell you what it means by this. So for example, this labels, it means a column of names, numbers, and date times. So what can be accepted in this label and time column is ABC, which means text. The calendar means date and time format. It can accept that too. 1 to 3 means it can also accept numbers. So for example, my month is text. So it is ABC. So I want this month column to be my labels. So I enter A here. And values is one or more columns of numbers. This values means okay, after deciding which is your labels, you want what data to show about these labels. So, for example, I want to show all of these types of content, for example, email, letter, online, etc. So I would say B column, BCD all the way to I, so I don't have to type all of those column letters. I'll just say B to I. And now it gives me a preview of data visualization. But if you see a data visualization here, it means it works. So now we can come back to this preview. So this is the original form. After I decide what labels I want and what data I want to show. So now you see it shows all of these data types, right? But I can come back. For example, I don't want to show telephone unknown or walk in. So I will just change this column to B to B, C, D, E, for example, F. We don't want the last three columns. So I would just say B to F. And now it gives me another type of data visualization, excluding the last three columns. So this is the key of this flourish, that here you tell the tool that what is your label name, which column you want to be your label. So I tell them I want A to be my label. So that's why you see here it shows the month to be the labels. And then for values, I tell this tool that I want B column all the way to F. So now I change it to B, back to I. And now see it gives me another data visualization with all of this information on the last three columns. Then we can continue to go down. So this one, it is required. Required, it means you must choose a column here. So if it doesn't mark as required, which means here you can leave it empty, blank. So chart grids, we don't need that. Row filter, don't need that. Pop info for custom pops. So this called pop-ups. See this white box with telephone mail 168. Because my original data doesn't have such a column, and I'm fine with this pop-up box that shows what this chart, what this tiny part of this section or this type of bar means. For example, this light blue, it is walk-in, and June, like 136 files, contents. So now if this all what I want, then I can begin to edit this data visualization. So now it's kind of primitive, right? Without header, without any other information. You, as a reader, you might be confused about what it is. And also it doesn't show any number, just with this 500, 400. So now I can edit this data visualization.
Can I ask,
Yeah.
is it good practice if you want your chart sorted in a certain way, say in declining months, not rather than chronological? Would you do that before you upload it, or can you do it in the data part of this tool?
I think that's a good question. No, I don't think you can do that. Let me see if I can drag and drop. No, you can't. This has very limited data cleaning and data editing function in here. So this is a kind of like a weakness of this tool. So what you need to do is really get your data ready before you upload that. Here you can only do very basic things. For example, I change it not to June, maybe June 30th, I can add it here, or I can see here there's a search bar. You can find a certain your entry, right? But that is it. You won't be able to do other things. And also basic things like swipe rows and columns. Let's see what happened. See, it can still make data visualization here, but it doesn't make any sense. So I will swap it back. And now I decide I need to add some other information to this data visualization. A good thing of this flourish is it makes line bar and bar charts as in one section, which means you have a lot more options. For example, I decided to make it a bar chart, but I also want to see how it looks in other formats, in other forms. So here you will be able to see that. You click this I call it like a dashboard on this on the right. It's the same for all of data visualization forms. So if you make a bar chart after you upload your data set, you come back to this preview tab. On the right, they are all the same thing. So here, for example, it's very intuitive. Like you just follow the order here and edit your data visualization. It is then you will make a very beautiful data visualization. So for example, let's see, the first one is theme. I usually leave it alone because I'm fine with this white background. If you like this different theme, you can do that. The good thing about this is chart type. As I said, it makes line bar and bar charts together, which means here you have a lot more options. You click that. For example, I want to see how it looks if it is a line chart. So it is a line chart. Well, it tells us something, but I feel it's not what I want. It looks better. Like it tells, it's more clearer. I mean, it's more clear if it is a bar chart, right?
Well, it depends, I think. I really think it depends on what question you're asking.
Yeah. So I always keep this in mind that when my readers see my data visualization, if they can get the information immediately, or it takes them some time to figure out what you are making. So let's see other things. If it works. The area chart, it doesn't make much sense. What is on stack? Nothing. So you can try different things. Let's see how it looks like a donut. Yeah, donut. So, but it doesn't look very delicious. But also, it really depends on what data set you have and what information you would like your reader to get. So, for example, this line and columns. Let's see.
So far we're talking about this as a teaching tool, but I know a lot of digital historians are using this even as a research tool to think about, think about your big data in terms of output, what's the takeaway from this data and that data. So
This is like a data visualization tool to make to make visible otherwise hidden things.
Right.
So for example, a good example is my students' work. See here. Here, she wants to show this stark difference between the energy consumption per unit of GDP and GDP in total. So it is green versus a red declining line. So what she did is here, this line and columns. So it really depends on your data and what information you want to give. So now after trying various things, I'm still in favor of my original choice, like a bar chart stacked. So okay, oops, now it's column chart stacked, right? Yeah. So now I'm fine with this, and I want to add. I want to continue to add this. So it gives us a lot of options. For example, this one, it tells you it can sort your data. You want to show it to from top to bottom like this, or this. If you think it looks better. So I think I would sort it in this way. And also it is a single chart. And a grid of charts, it's like it would look like this. This is not what I want. But you see there's an option like this. You can see this data separately, right? I would switch it back to single chart. And also this height model is, this auto is, it fits your screen automatically. Or you can make standard, or this aspect ratio that you can set the size of your data visualization. So I will come back and control and filters. This is an interesting. So if it is single select, for example, here, see, it becomes a drop-down menu. So that each time you can see, for example, in custody, this data, they won't show all together in one sheet. They are divided into different drop-down menu items. This is single select, and also you can. This is drop-down menu. Here you can choose the drop-down, or it's not drop-down. It's called control type. So what if it is this? But this is a repeat of kind of legend down here. See here? I don't need this. This is not what I want. I think this one is more for some dynamic data visualization. It's not a good option for us. So, but and also multi-select is interesting. So now it is walk-in, right? I want to show walk-in and telephone. So now here it is walk-in. So I enter, for example, telephone. So now this data visualization only shows two types of data, walk-in and telephone. If this is what you want, you can leave it here. But I want to come back. I don't need these filters. And also here, if you want to continue to edit your multi-select styles, you can choose it here. It's easy, like background and text, etc. So I come back here. So it is my original form. So for original form, for example, as I show you this data visualization, I only talk about email and custodies temporarily. So I can click off here. Now it only has email in custody. And after I finish talking about these two items, I want them to be back. I just click them again, and they will just come back. So it's really intuitive. The next column is color. So color is an interesting thing. I usually suggest my students to use the color palettes they give you because they meet web accessibility standards. There is a science in this color order. So, but still, you have some options. You have so many color palettes to choose. But if you don't like any of them, you can, for example, you can have some customization. Click this. So I choose this color palette, but I don't like it. Here, I want to edit this color palette. So I can see there's a cross sign. I click it, I can delete this color. And add another color I really like. So for colors, each color has a code called hex code color. So if I click here, see, any color has some code. I usually use the hex code. It is here. Sometimes I see people use RGB code. It doesn't make difference to me, so I usually use this hex code. For example, I like this one. I copy it and Control V. Control C and Control V.
In Dr. Lee's defense, I made her use a PC.
I'm
Person, this is not her fault.
an Apple fan, but I'm using Windows.
You poor thing.
Oh, is that? Oh, here. Control C. Control V. Okay, now I add a new color to my color palette. So you have customization, but I don't suggest you do that. Let's come back. So another good thing is, for example, I choose a color, but somehow I'm fine with most of these colors, but I don't want this telephone to be this dark blue. So here it gives me some options called custom overrides. The good thing is you can hover over it and it tells you what it means. So here it means you can override these color schemes by following this this types of color codes. For example, I want it's called telephone, right? So here I can either use hex code, RGB code, or I can just directly type a red, black, blue. So if you directly type red, black, blue, it will show one color. But if you see these color palettes, if you use hex code, there are so many different shades of colors. So I would back to here. I would say, for example, follow this example party rack. I would say telephone. You have to be exactly the same as your type here, like this one, telephone. The first case is uppercase. So I would say telephone red. Now it is changed to be red. So I override this color scheme. But sometimes you enter it, it doesn't make any difference. In this time, it's like you need to refresh your web page. So you click this data, and then you come back, you toggle back to this preview tab. Usually, this data visualization is updated. So if you see you make some changes, but it doesn't show on your web page, don't panic. Just toggle, try the other tab, and then you come back. The changes are usually made. So
Does it
now,
access Palatone color palettes?
where here?
Yeah. Can you access anything on Palatone? No, web designers and others use Palatone as a standard set of color color schemes.
How do you spell that?
Just right there.
That's right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
This one?
Well, no, that's for the bike.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah,
but-
all right. No, this is nutrition.
I just wondered if you knew if it was in there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because if I go there, I can get the 6 or 7 hexadecimal and put it in there and create my own.
Yes,
That
yes,
way.
absolutely. So here, they have some color already made. But as I showed you, for example, you don't want this color scheme. You want to make your own. So you choose this, and then you just delete one color and add your own color code here, and then you can create your own customized color codes.
And if you're doing black and white publications, I assume there's a grayscale.
Um, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
That's why I usually don't make my own colors because I feel sometimes not all web browsers can show them. It depends on what browsers. As you see, if you publish it, there are so many on certain things. I usually choose the most basic ones, the most functional ones. So now I override this with red. I delete that. And then it comes, this is the color, this is the row. Well, it doesn't make any difference. Well, doesn't make any sense. So I come back by columns. And then this bars. So you can also edit the bars. So for example, now the bar opacity is 0.9. 1 is the biggest one, the thickest one. If you want it to be more opaque, for example, I would say 5. And now it is more opaque. So you can choose this slightly better. And one is the darkest color. And spacing, this is 25. You can try 20 to see the difference. You see this stack, this line between these stacks are wider now. Let me see, show you the difference. Now it is thinner. Can you see the difference? So for the stack, for example, let me try a bigger number. Now the space is wider between them. So you can edit this. Now labels. So you can also edit labels. This one show labels on data points. Do that, and now you see the data is shown on the labels, and you can also show the titles, the totals. See at the top, the total is shown. So it depends on you which one you want. And also you can choose some styles here. I wouldn't do that. Now the width is bold. Let's see normal. And now you see the number is the normal size fixed. Now auto. So now you can this dashboard really enable you to style your data visualization like this. I want labels to have data points so that you know what I mean. Now you see that it's on the label, but I can choose it's not. Or I can only show a total of this deck. It's really up to you. So the position of axis bottom, see, it means this labels on the bottom or hidden. Now it's gone. It can be on the top or flow. Well, doesn't flow much. See here, it doesn't flow very well. It is hidden. So I will choose bottom. So many things like this, even if you don't know what it means, you can try things. It's very intuitive. And also it tells, if you see question mark, it means it explains what this thing is. So things like y-axis is the same. And see, it has axis title. I would say, let's see, total. see if it works. It has some explanatory text, means total. You can add any text here. And then this background. So now it doesn't have background color. It can have a background color, or you can add image to this to your data visualization. I'm fine with this white background. This number formatting, I think my data visualization doesn't have anything to do with it because mine are all integrates. If you have a decimal numbers, you can define your decimal numbers here, the decimal places. So that's how you can define your numbers. But because all my numbers are integers, so I don't have this problem. I will continue to do this. Next one is legend. Let's see, multi-select. So it is auto, and you can, if you want to make sure, you can also click on to make sure this legend are always on here. Here it is auto. And you can also choose the alignment, bold, normal. So you can really style the legend. The title, I wouldn't need the title. So pop-ups are panels. So this is pop-up. I'm fine with this because I don't want to add some manually the content to pop-ups. Annotation to highlight. This is an interesting thing. So although my data visualization doesn't need that, but many data analysis people, they need to use that. So let me show you how this works. So for example, I would say, see, there's a line added here, and I set it to be alert 350. So it's not necessary for my data visualization, but for many data analysis, you might need this line, for example, to show like a mark, right? And this range is in. So again, you have to follow their format. It reminds you here, like one per line in format, my label, semicolon, the number. So you need to do the same thing, follow the same format. The next thing is interesting. So this is one line, but you can also define an area. So I would say alert. Okay. Like a 200. And now you see this gray area. It is an area I define to highlight. So in your other data visualization, for example, not bar chart, in your own data visualization, if you want to highlight this area, you can use this format. It's called range highlights on y-axis. You can do the same thing on x-axis. So it's really depends on what type of data visualization you make and what information you want to include in your data visualization. So then the next one is animation. I'm fine with this speed. Layout. So the layout is again you need about the font, background color, this and that. So I'm fine with this. I won't change anything. So the next one is header. So now you see my data visualization doesn't have any header, which means it might be a confusing data visualization for you, right? You don't know what it means. So this is where the header is. For example, I would say how people Now, the data visualization has a header. You can also style it. I won't do that to save time. Subtitle, I don't have subtitle. And text is, I don't know. Say 20. Now you see it is like a subtitle place. You can add any information about this. Also, you can add logo or border. And the footer is the same thing, like the source. For example, the source name, data.gov, www data.gov. Now it is here. It can also be multiple sources. You can add notes, or you have some advanced features to make your footer very detailed, right? I won't do that. You can add image. So the next interesting thing is accessibility. As I told you, because it is public facing, so web accessibility is very, very important, especially for big institutions like government and universities. So, and universities are usually have a special team to take care of all the web accessibility issues because some people might sue you over that. So that's why it usually costs you millions of dollars because it violates the federal law. So the screen reader description is many people they can't see this data visualization. They use the screen readers to read the screen. So you need to describe your data visualization as detailed as possible. So you type some text here, for example. The screen reader will read this text to the people. And screen reader label is, for example, I do like a complaints. To make things easier for handicapped people. I hope you choose readable because if you make it hidden, people can't read that with screen readers. You might get sued. So I think now this is how things work. If I'm fine now, I'm fine with my data visualization. I don't want to make any change. I want to publish it. So here it is. I click this export and publish. And so you see I have a few options here. So of course I will publish to share and embed. But here you can download. So for download, again, it has this star sign, which means it is on paid plan. If you download it as a HTML, which means you download it like a web page. The purpose of this is you can host this data visualization on your own server. If you, for example, if I publish it on this Flourish, right? One day, if Flourish is down, then my data visualization, my project is gone. Because my data visualization is hosted on the Flourish server. But if I download it on HTML and upload it, for example, to SIU server, it's always there if SIU server works well. And also, if I download it as HTML as a web developer, I can continue to work it to edit the code. So this data visualization will just look in whatever way I want it to be looked at. So this is an advanced feature. That's why it is paid. Okay. Or you can download it as an image. It's a static. So now you see it is interactive, right? For example, I don't want this letter to be shown. So I think once you are set on this data visualization, you won't be able to change that. So now or you add to Canva presentation. Have you heard of Canva? So Canva bought Flourish last year. So Flourish becomes a product of Canva. That's why the two software tools are connected. So I can show you how your presentation can be a slide in your Canva presentation later today. So you can add to Canva presentation. We'll look at this later. But now I want to publish it to share. And here again, you have these options. Because if you publish on Flourish, many other Flourish users will see your work. So you have this option that allow anyone to duplicate this project and data or not, which means they can only see your project, but they can't duplicate that and further edit that. So I will allow that and I publish. And now here you go. It is now published. First of all, it gives me a URL. So I click it. Now, many other people can see my data visualization. Or as you see, embed on your website. So for here, you will see that this original one, this called div class. It is the HTML code for web developers. So it's not for us to embed on our own web page. For us, that code to paste on our own web page, and then it will show is this one called iframe. This one is what we use on our own website. So if you copy and paste this code on your own website, click save, and then you will see this data visualization on your web page. Like my student, they just copy and paste this iframe code on their web page, and then this is all the data visualization they make. It's really easy. So they give you this code. This one is interesting. So you can set width and height of your data visualization. So it means the size you want it to be on your website. So this width, for example, it says 100% with this percent sign. It means fits my screen. If my screen is small, it is small. It's just wide, just fit it wide. So this 100% is actually a flexible number. Be flexible with my screen size. This height, you see this 600 pixel is a fixed number. Like 600, you can try it. For example, 800, it will be taller, or 400 will be narrower. So you can set the size of this. Now I'm fine with that. So now data visualization is done. Oh, I forgot to name this. For example, conference 2018. We'll publish it. When it becomes orange, it means I made some changes but haven't published them. So I just republish it. And now it has some name. It is published, becomes green. So this is the process of making a data visualization on Flourish. All types of data visualization follow the same steps. What you need to do, just need to decide, you make the same formats of data sets as that example data visualization. And then you decide which columns you want to show on your data visualization, like for example, A, B to I columns. And you have this preview here, which means you can make it change at any time and have this live preview. So all of this data visualization follow the same steps. What you need to do is really get your data set ready and decide which data visualization you want. Do you have questions about this flourish?
How do you find data sets that might be of interest? You mentioned a number of government websites. Are there search
Yes.
engines or collections?
Yes, there I listed see here. So these four are good data where you can download free data sets. So the first one, they have very good data sets, but first of all, you need to sign up before you can download them. Data.gov is, the federal government's data set. You can get a lot of free data sets there. Gapminder is interesting. So this Gapminder, I don't know if you have used that. So this Gapminder is, they provide a lot of data sets. And you can play with those data sets on their website with many data visualization. They create this website to break your stereotypes about certain issues. That's why they have so many data sets. So you can play with those data sets and create data visualization on their websites. To break your stereotypes about some things. But also they give you this link so that you can download their data sets and you can use this data. This Flourish, it provides data sets for you too. For example, GeoJSON files, and also it lists many data set websites where you can download data and play with. So this is how Flourish works. It's really easy because you can make so many different data visualization just by, for example, making the same data set like this, and then you will be able to make this Parliament seats data visualization. I think this is British, right?
It's the 2019 election.
Okay, good. So this is cool, right?
Not the current parliament.
Thank you for the reminder, Dr.
Yeah.
You're most welcome.
Bitter pill.
Yeah. So this is
A bitter.
how Flourish work. Do you have questions? If not, I will continue. So for the Flourish, and now I make all of this data visualization. I want to make a presentation to you. So this is where I can make. It is like a PowerPoint. So if you click this new story, then you will see you can make slides like PowerPoints, and also you can make a scroll list. Scroll up and down, but again, it is paid plan. So for example, I can choose data visualization. For example, this one. I can add caption here, and then I can continue to add a new slide. This time I want to make some text. It doesn't need my data visualization, so I can make. So this one looks like a it's just PowerPoint slides. Right? So one slide after another. After you're done, again you export and publish it. It is a presentation online. So this is the Flourish. So because we talk about Canva, right? So let's come back. So Canva now is the parent company of Flourish. So how many of you have used Canva? Oh, great. So now we can continue. But those who haven't used Canva, I'm happy you come to this workshop because Canva is really cool. So Canva is a visual design website. So for example, I want to create, you can create anything, informatics. So for example, this is what I have used, right? Because I'm a history major, I want to make historical timeline. So I would search here, like and it gave me so many ideas. Those things with like a crown, again, you have to pay for it. But there are many like free ones. See, there are so many free ones. So I would choose this one, and I can change anything. For example, I don't like this. I want something else. I would add an element. For example, this one. I would add this.
Yeah, I had somebody make a poster last year using this.
Yeah. So this one is really about your visual design skills. You just choose a template, drag and drop, delete. But a cool thing, because it is related to Flourish, I want to show you another thing it can do. So I come back to the front page. So now the front page, see, they can make videos or social media things, really fancy with visual design on it. But today I would like to show you a presentation. So, for example, its presentation is like PowerPoints or like the news story I showed you with Flourish, right? You can add slides with data visualization. The same thing for Canva. But because Canva has so many beautiful templates, which make your data visualization really professional or fancy. So, for example, I pick one. And here you can use AI. It can really give you great ideas. So, for example, I will do. And then it gave me a many digital marketing presentation slides. And I would say and it gave me history workshop ideas. So I'll say this. If I can choose any page of this, or if I think all of these 10 pages are fine, I would apply all 10 pages. And now I can edit that. Like for example, I don't want to call it this history workshop. For example, so here I would I don't like this data visualization. I would delete that. And here you see element. I would say chart. Or I would say see here flourish. And these are all the flourish data visualization I make. If you use it for the first time, it might doesn't exist on this left bar. You can, for example, delete that. And here you see apps. You just need to enter flourish. I click it. It is added here. Then these are the data visualization I made. So I can drag it here. If, for example, you can do a simple data visualization within this chart. So let me pick another one like this, for example. Now that I want to add a chart here. Let's see, bar chart. Yeah. Okay, this bar chart. But this bar chart doesn't make any sense to me, right? It is just a chart. So I can clear data. and I can upload my own data here. But I don't suggest you upload a big data set that has so many lines of rows, so many rows of data set. You just because it will freeze. It is a visual design analysis tool. So visual design tool. So you just if you have some complex data visualization like what we made with Flourish, you import that. But if you have simple data, you can do it here. So for example, I make a transportation. Here you want to see that. So I would like to show the world. It's a data visualization to show how people around the world use transportation. Again, this color are so similar with each other, so I need something else to show their difference. For example, I will choose red. Public transportation. This. Oh, sorry. Maybe. Okay. So now this is a new data visualization I make about how many people get around the world, right? Like you see in North America, 92% of it doesn't see cars. 92% of people drive, while in East Asia, only 19% of population drive. So there's a big difference of how people use transportation. And again, I can add something interesting. So, for example, I want to add infographics, and it is people, right? But I don't like people. So I want to add some cars.
You don't need to, that's TMI.
Yeah, so then you see I add cars. Then there is an interesting thing. So if you can increase the totals by drag and drop here, the bars. And you also can build items, spaces. Okay. So then this is how you can connect Flourish to Canva. Just by import your Canva import in Flourish here. See here, I want to add this here. So it's like PowerPoint, one page after another. Then you can present your research to your audience. Here you have present, or you can share, see with people, or you can download that or put it on your website, or even there's a public view link. If you click it, it will be published on the website. Any person can see your presentation. So this is how Canva and Flourish can work together.
If we download the presentation, does the graph remain interactive? Does it still race like that?
That's an interesting question. Let's see. I don't think so. See, it says PDF. Oh, but you can see.
Or video.
Yes. So but Canva is not our focus today, but it is a really useful tool, and now Canva and Flourish can work together because Canva focuses on visual design. It's not a data visualization tool. So with Flourish, it is strengthened now. This is how Flourish and Canva work. Do you have questions? Is it easy, right? Flourish.
That's great.
Yeah. So we have 20 minutes. I would like to use like the last few 10 minutes to show you another very cool tool that I would like. So Flourish, I would like to let me show you Flourish. You know-
Before anybody escapes, there's a sign up sheet by the door.
We'll be back.
We'd love, yeah, I know you're coming. I don't know where you're going to shoot. We'd love it if you just wrote your name. If you'd like to be emailed a list of the links that Dr. Lee's talking about today, put your email and I'll make sure you get the materials she presented today.
Yes. So like any tool, it has strength and a weakness. So Flourish for me, in my eyes, are 95 out of 100. So its weakness in my eyes is maps. So usually mapping tool, you can just select the map and use that, right? But for Flourish is very outdated that you have to provide those mapping data by yourself, which kind of difficult. For example, this heat map. You have to show here. See, where can we find this geometry data from the internet, right? In the US, yeah, it is ready. But what if I want to make a map, a heat map on Britain or even smaller countries? I have to look for this geometry information by myself. So mapping is really a weak point of Flourish. But there is another tool that is great at making maps. That is Data Wrapper. Have you heard of Data Wrapper? It's very cool. I would like to show you first. And also it's free and no sign up is required. It's really great, right? I would like to. This is the things I have made. So I would like to create a new thing. For example, this one. Oh, first of all, I would like to show you something interesting. So it's similar to Flourish, but for Flourish, you have to decide what type of data visualization you want to make ahead of time, right? I want to make a bar chart of or heat map, and but after you decide to make that, you can change it. But this data wrapper, the good thing is open source, and also you just upload your data and then you can try different things. Let me show you that. So I don't have to use my own data. For example, I'll use their data. You can upload your data. See here, external link data, URL, Google Sheet. You have more options than Flourish, right? You proceed after you and then you can you need to check if your data is uploaded correctly. If it is uploaded correctly, again, the next step, proceed. So this is a great thing about this data wrapper is with your current data set, you can try different types of this data visualization. You don't have to decide it ahead of time. You can try different things to decide which type of data visualization you want to make. So this is a great thing, but I would like to show you how you can make a map as easy as Flourish, but Flourish is really primitive in providing geometry map. So for example, in this situation, I want to make an obesity rate map of the United States. So again, I need to, here, I don't have to provide geometry information by myself. I just to search the location. It has a lot of data sets. So for example, I'll choose See, it has so many different data sets about USA. So this is one great thing about data record. It has very detailed geometry information about so many places. So I think I will choose this one that includes, or you can upload your own map, of course. Okay, this is the country I want. So I upload my file, data record. Take a preview of obesity rate of the United States is made. It's just so easy and simple. But after you check your data is fine. Here you want to continue to the next step.
Your housing thing.
Oh, see here it tells me something wrong. Like Puerto Rico is not included in this map. So I would delete that.
It's
This
not a
one.
state, so.
Huh?
It's not a state, probably, it's probably,
Yeah, well,
It's not on the map.
it's not on the map yet for
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
so now I delete that row. It's fine now. And then it asks me if this is correct. So the select column for name is name, right? Yes. The object is obesity rate. See,
Uh-oh.
it is here, name, the column name, obesity rate is C. So now I will proceed. This looks good.
Utah's killing.
It tells me
Oh, I don't know.
now. Let's see which state has the obesity. So again, we need to choose the color. I think probably this looks good, right?
Yeah.
Linear, quartile, then natural. I'll just choose linear. And this one is even easier than flourish. This has less styles. Make map zoomable, yes. Add padding, no, it's fine.
Can you overlay the actual obesity rates for each of the states? So like if you hover over top, it will tell you what the obesity rate is?
You see?
Oh,
Or I can add this number to it. So now, after I'm sure this map is what I want, now like Flourish, I can begin to edit this map. So now I think use pattern overlay. I don't need to use that because, let's see. Yeah. Doesn't make that difference. It's not pattern over. So, okay. So then the legend title, okay, obesity. And then annotate. Then enable highlighting on hover. See? Map view. Okay. Then there are a few tabs you need to choose. For example, title. Obesity rate. Data source data. Again, for screen readers, so you add them here. Show labels. No, I don't need them to show labels. Tooltip. So I think I need to for example, highlight this one.
correlation with the food taxes.
Obviously.
Right, you know. Snack food. This is like California, Vermont, don't they put.
So actually Louisiana has the highest highest one, and Colorado has the lowest one.
It's too good.
It's too.
So now I'm ready to publish that. I just click publish now, then it will be published. You can download that as a PNG. So this is data wrapper. It's really easy. So this one is I made 3 months ago when I taught in my visualization classes. That you have some options. For example, you can make these numbers to show the states. And also see here, you can have some text annotation to it. So it's really quick to make a map on data wrapper. It's really great. And again, if you publish it, it will generate a link, a URL, or you can embed that on your web page. So this is the data wrapper. It has fewer options than Flourish, but it's really quick. And also, Flourish is dynamic, right? But data wrapper is interactive, but not as dynamic as Flourish. So a lot of newspapers, they use data wrapper because it's really quick. You just throw the data in and it comes out with a very cool data visualization. Yeah, this one is what I made before. Like you can not only make like how do people get around with this. You can also highlight the things you want so that you can show that to your audience. So for example, I want to highlight the highest rate of usage of car. It is North America 92%, and East Asia 19%, the lowest one. You can highlight them and then present this to your audience. Or I think that this is Flourish. Quick, less fancy than Flourish, but it's quick and it's free. And you even don't have to sign up to make data visualization. And also, data wrapper and Flourish, they all have very detailed tutorials. You can just search. So for data wrapper, it is, for example, data wrapper tutorial. Then it calls Data Wrapper Academy. It tells you, for example, how to make things. I really don't think you need to read them because they are really intuitive. You just follow each step, toggle on and off those buttons, and then that's it. Flourish, the same thing. Flourish tutorial. Oh, yeah, Flourish has training courses and it's free. It's in my list. I will share with you. It's great. I took that. And actually, it shows you more than I showed you today. So this because these tools are very frequently used by so many people, so they have a very big community supporting tutorials. So anytime you don't know how to do that, you just, for example, search adding data Flourish, and then Google will show you that tutorial page. So it's really neat, and it's open source. That's the most important thing, right? So this is the favorite tool. The people I have known really like them. No matter computer science majors or data science majors because it's really easy and save your time, right? You don't have to deal with coding. Yeah.
Even economics can use this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm human science, but my husband, I think it's a business.
Oh yes.
So he's all the time, you know.
Yeah, he will like this too.
You know, it's very, but like a lot of data.
Yes. So, but the weakness of these two tools are they focus on data presentation, but you know, people like business or STEM, they have a large data sets. They have to clean it,
Yes.
like a combine or delete some columns, this and that. So this doesn't do it. But they use Tableau a lot. But the weakness of Tableau is it's for research purpose. So it's not for presentation purpose. So it's kind of doesn't look that good, and it is not public facing. So sometimes you can publish your data analysis to the public. You have to open your own Tableau and then share your screen with the public. So, but different tools solve different problems, but not solve all problems. But we humanities people, we are visual people, right? We like visuals. We like presenting information, and we need to interact with the public through public humanities projects like history. So we need to make them look engaging. And we don't have coding classes in the curriculum. So I think these tools are really great start for data visualization. But I think that if you are interested in programming languages like Python, these tools serve as a good stepping stone because when you code with Python, you know what you are coding about, like what is legend, what it will look like, you know, with this like dot line, etc. So they're really great. I contact Flourish to see if I can buy the paid plan. It's strange that they ask you to buy with 5 or 6 people, like buy as a team. Otherwise, you just use their free individual plan.
That's the biggest difference between the humanities and the sciences. We don't work in teams. We're basically almost all lone wolves.
And we don't know what each other does, right?
Yeah, but just because the nature of our research tends to be solitary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 5 minutes left. Do you have questions or not only about these two tools? If you have questions about digital humanities or other data visualization tools.
Question over here.
Oh yeah.
For business, if someone want to do the data visualization for publication, like for papers, and what's the most like?
You can use Flourish. It's good because when you use Flourish, for example, this one I make and I publish it, and you download it as an image, and then it is a static image you can insert in your paper.
Is this suitable for the big data set?
Yes, it can handle big data sets. Flourish.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lee. Well,
Thank you for coming.
that was really great.
Thank you.
So well done. This is recorded. It'll be on the CVEX YouTube. If you need it, please write your name on the sign-in sheet. Also, I checked on Flourish's website. The paid version does let you live link Google Sheet data straight to Flourish. So then you can be working with data, changing it, and Flourish will update on the
Yeah, that's
fly.
why it looked like it was a Google.
It also does Dropbox and GitHub, but it doesn't do Microsoft Outlook.
Yeah, it didn't look like Microsoft as much.
It's because of the way Microsoft shares those things. But
Yes,
yeah,
it doesn't share.
really great option. Thank you all for
Yeah.
coming. And
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. This is the first time.
if you have any complaints, email
Oh, yeah, great.
great.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
What did you say?
Yeah, John.
I said, do you have any complaints? I can-